What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Okay, y'all, we giving double duty, but you know we gotta get it in and get it out. I gotta get over to the whether you like it or not panel. Hold on, real quick. Let me let them know. I might be a few minutes late, but I'm taking the crowd with me. So when we leave here, we are all going to head over to the whether you like it or not panel. But we're going to go ahead and get this started. So I've been wanting to give you this update since last week, you guys, but it's been so much going on. I'm still behind in my reviews. I haven't done Bell Collective. What else do I owe y'all? I owe y'all Bell Collective and the Real Housewives of Miami. I still haven't, so I'm still behind, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. Let me say hi to the people, and we're gonna jump into this, you guys. Um, Hey Kenya, hey Marnie, Lemon Kush, Shantia, Tracy, C Golden, Below, Cora, hey Marilyn, hey Daniel, Jane, Amber, L Love, Xavier, Course Correction, Brittany, Amber, Cross Country Cruiser. Hey, did I get everybody? If I missed you, hey Miss Bay Thing, if I missed you, try this in my head. Hey Sharice, and now my heart, Ruru, trying to get everybody in. Now, let's start at the beginning and let's work our way back. Now, I'm not going over every little nook and cranny of the case, but what we know is that Jonathan Majors was accused of assaulting his then girlfriend, right? We heard about this assault that took place one night where he allegedly put his hands on her. We heard about, and these are just the bits and pieces that came out before we got to the trial. We heard about, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Um, okay, yeah, we're gonna get to that course correction. I got all of that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We heard about allegedly he was cheating and she got upset about that. We heard about her going to the club. We saw text messages. His attorney, in my opinion, I disagree with the fact that his attorney was litigating this information in public. I understand what I think the attorney was trying to do, because I think the attorney was trying to get them to drop the charges and almost was trying to, I guess, shame them into dropping the charges. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't understand why they did not. Well, I understand why, but after I listened to a lot of what happened, they really should have dropped these charges. And let me go through the information, because I know some of y'all in the chat are going to disagree with me, but let me go through the information and let me tell you why. Okay. Now, last week or the week before last, I did read you guys an article where the witness, I mean, the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend testified to what happened. Okay. I'm going to read it again so that you guys can hear, we can all start on the same page. Okay. That same attorney got Jen Shaw 6 years. Child Jen Shaw got Jen Shaw 6 years, but I understand what you're saying. All right, let me read you guys this article. Now, this is the first article that we read. Maybe it was like a week and a half ago we read this article. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. It says, Jonathan Majors' accuser testifies in assault trial, describes the altercation in the car. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole article. I'm just going to read you her story because, again, child, we know all of that. Okay. Okay. All right. Jabari, that's the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend. Jabari says that her and Majors were in a private car on the way home when she observed a text message on Major's phone stating, "Wish I was kissing you right now." So she then said Jabari confirmed this version of events, saying she was shocked by the possibility of infidelity given the seriousness of their 2-year relationship, which she said was heading towards marriage. She said it was heading towards marriage. We don't know what Jonathan's going to say. Because listen, we all know that people in relationships, one person think it's going left and the other person is going right, and they're on different. But she said it was going towards marriage. Maybe they had been talking about it. I don't know. She said she grabbed the phone to see the message from Majors, who then pried her fingers from the phone, grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm, and then struck her right ear to get the phone. Now, I said this 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to say it now, and I ain't changing it. She assaulted him first. She assaulted him first. When she grabbed and when she yanked that phone out of his hand, that is assault. We said it was assault when Demetrius, isn't that what that boy named? Demetrius, Darius. When Darius did it to Kiki, when he said he yanked the phone out of her hand, did Pam not say that that was assault? Pam being an attorney, Pam the law intellect, she said that was assault. So if it was assault when Darius did it to Kiki, it was assault when she did it to him. Now, if he was prying her fingers off of the phone, he was trying to get his phone back. If he was grabbing her wrist, he was trying to get his phone back. Even if he twisted her forearm, he was trying to get his phone back. Now, I don't have no defense for him hitting her in the ear. However, she assaulted him first. She hit him. No, she didn't hit him, but she assaulted him first. So let's keep reading. So honestly, from that point forward, now mind you, this is her testimony on direct examination. The attorney didn't even trick her into admitting she started it. She started the altercation. But okay, let me keep reading. She testified that Majors ordered the car to stop, and when she tried to leave the car, Majors picked her up and threw her back inside. Prosecutors showed a video of this moment as well as subsequent surveillance videos. So I guess they have surveillance video of him picking her up and putting her back in the car, throwing her in the car, putting her in the car, whatever. I guess they have videos of that happening. But here's the next. Now, I already told y'all that I think that it ain't quite go down. Like the video probably showed that's what it looked like, but I feel like that ain't quite how it went down. But let me read you the next line. The next line says, surveillance video also shows Majors running down the street with Jabari chasing him. So he was trying to get away from her, and she was chasing him down the street. She said she wanted to get answers about who he was texting. While she was said to have felt physical pain, she added that she was in a heightened emotional state and as a dancer is able to withstand a high level of pain. Majors looked on from the table with his attorney as she pointed to their relative positions in the car on photos and detailed her version of events. The actor was again accompanied to court. Okay. After exiting the cab, Jabari said she ran into 3 strangers on the street and asked for help getting a car home. She ran into strangers on the street and said, "Can you help me get home?" Because she said that her purse and phone were still in the car. Now, the car hadn't left yet, y'all. She said Majors walked by her and the two entered the car again to talk. So listen, y'all, I need y'all to make that make sense for me. She walked up to 3 strangers on the street to ask them to help her get a ride home because her car and cell phone, her purse and cell phone was still in the car that was sitting right there. She said Majors walked past her. Again, he walked past her, didn't say nothing. Why you ain't go in the car and get your shit? She said she entered the car again to talk, at the end of which she grabbed at his shirt to keep him from leaving. That's kidnapping, y'all. If you prevent somebody from leaving, that is kidnapping. And I'm not even being funny, y'all. I just want y'all to hear This is her story. This is her version of the story. On direct examination, Majors left to stay at a hotel, which means that she now had her phone and her purse. She later agreed to go with the 3 strangers that she met on the street that she claimed she was asking to get her a ride home. But instead of going home, she said that she went with them to the club because they were celebrating a friend's birthday. She said her time at the club dancing had been okay. She said the worst thing in her head would have been going back to the empty apartment that she shared with Jonathan. She said that she went to the club to seek comfort from her new friends. You don't know these people. These not your friends. You met them on the street. These not your friends, ma'am. You met them on the street. You don't know them. When did these people become your friend? All right. So that is what we read through like 2 weeks ago. Now, last Thursday, this is what I wanted to come and bring y'all last Thursday, but I ain't had time. It didn't look too good for Jonathan, okay? Now, I'm going to read y'all this article, and then we're going to talk about what happened in court today, okay? It didn't look too good. Please hit that like button as you come in the door and take a seat. Appreciate you so much. All right. Now, this says Jonathan Majors begged accuser to avoid hospital, warning of possible investigation. And this is his text messages. So let's read through what the text messages said, okay? Actor Jonathan Majors begged his former girlfriend not to seek medical attention after an incident that left her with a head injury last year, warning she had no perspective of what could happen if the truth got out, according to previously undisclosed text messages read at the actor's criminal trial on Friday. Now, they're not talking about the incident from the night that he's on trial for. They're talking about an incident that happened allegedly last year, back in 2022, not 2023. And I'm saying that because I think the headline might have been misleading if people didn't read the whole article. So we're not talking, these text messages are not from the night of the incident. These text messages are from an alleged incident from a year ago, okay? So this is what the text messages said. They will ask you questions as I don't think you actually protect us. It could lead to an investigation. Even if you do lie and they suspect something. Majors wrote to his girlfriend on September the 22nd of 2022. Then there was another text message where she replied and she said she would tell the doctors that she bumped her head, assuring Majors, why would I tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? They looking good, bro. The messages were read in the 5th day of the Manhattan trial. Now, y'all, okay, I'm just gonna read it. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. Okay, hold on. Additional information about how she sustained the injuries during the September altercation, which took place in London, were not discussed in court. The 6-person jury was instructed to consider the messages as background as they assessed the assault and harassment charges stemming from Major's alleged attack on Jabari in the backseat of the car on March the 25th. So I'm not really sure. I don't know if his attorneys didn't argue well enough or if they lost the motion. It sounds like they're not allowed to talk about whatever the incident was, but they were allowed to enter the text messages about the incident, which I don't know. If I'm on the jury, I want to know what the hell happened. Like, I want to know if I'm on the jury, I want to know how we got here. What they talking about? What happened? How you hurt your head, girl? I mean, that's just me. Okay. Prosecutors have said that Majors exhibited a cruel and manipulative pattern of abuse culminating with a backseat confrontation in which he struck her in the side of her head, twisted her arm behind her back, and broke her middle finger. Now, child, her middle finger was not broken. Major's attorneys maintain that Jabari was the instigator of the struggle during several days of grueling questioning this week. The defense pressed Jabari about videos showing her partying in the aftermath of the alleged assault, as well as the vague statements about her injuries that she gave police and medical professionals on the morning after the March confrontation. That line of questioning may have backfired. In an unexpected decision on Friday, Judge Michael Gaffney said the defense's aggressive attempt to impugn Jabari's character had opened the door to permitting text messages about the earlier altercation to be read out loud. So the judge said that basically Jonathan Major's attorneys opened the door for those text messages to come in. So now we know how they came in. Had, the attorneys opened up that door. Those messages, which were previously sealed, showed Jabari explaining to Majors that the recent head injury had left her unable to sleep and in need of a stronger painkiller. I would not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so, she added. Later in the conversation, Major accuses Jabari of rejecting his love and then repeatedly threatened to take his own life. I'm a monster. I'm a horrible man, he wrote. I am unaliving myself soon. I've already put things in motion. At the time, Majors and Jabari were living together in London as the actor filmed the second season of Loki. Prior to his arrest, Majors was set to serve as key. Okay, they were going on to talk about that. So that is what was testified in court on last week. So that wasn't looking good. Okay? That wasn't looking good. They got the text and right, because his attorney opened it up. The police didn't know about those texts before they arrested him. They dropped the ball. I still don't understand why he was arrested. Once again, that is the one in the woman's own story. She says that anyway, I already said all of that. So today, I'm gonna read y'all what happened in court today. Okay, I'm gonna read y'all what had happened down to the courtroom today. Today, Jonathan Major's driver says Accuser was doing everything during the alleged attack. The driver speaking to the jury through an interpreter was the only witness beyond the former couple to witness the alleged attack. The man who drove Jonathan Majors and then girlfriend Grace Jabari on the night of the former couple's alleged fight took the stand Monday for the actor's ongoing. Now, mind you, this is a misdemeanor trial, y'all. In opening statements, prosecutors said the driver had described Majors throwing Jabari like a football, and in turn, Majors' defense lawyer said the driver had called Jabari a psycho girl. That's not funny, but that was all in pretrial statements made in English. In court on Monday, Naveed Sawar, speaking through a Urdu interpreter, made no such colorful comments. He was not doing anything, so Sawar said of the actors, referencing a set of interaction between the couple in the car that night. Then of Jabari, he said she was doing everything. Majors is fake, and then it goes on. Okay, hold on. Let me keep going. All right, took me aback. Following day, Jabari went to the hospital. Blah blah blah. Defense judge said, "Okay, open the door Monday." I just don't want to reread the stuff we already read, child. Okay. All right. The district attorney asked the driver, had he seen Jabari hitting the defendant? The driver said he was looking straight ahead and describing interactions only as they sounded to him. He said many things were happening. I had the feeling the girl had hit the boy. And that's what he said. On several occasions throughout the driver's testimony, the judge reminded him you can only testify to what is happening, not what you think happened. Reviewing video surveillance footage of the couple's hired Cadillac Escalade parked on Canal and Center Streets, he was speaking through his interpreter, said that at one point he had stopped the car and Majors had gotten out. He said he was trying to get rid of her. He was once again told to keep his opinions to himself. So then he said he was trying to get rid of her. Like, he repeated what he said. The driver added, he was saying, leave me alone, I have to go. He said, the driver went on to say he was not doing anything, she was doing everything. The driver also noted that Majors was trying to throw her in the car when Jabari had attempted to follow him out of the vehicle. He was trying to push her into the car, and that the couple eventually both left on foot. Throughout the driver's testimony, Majors leaned back in his chair. Child, okay. At one point, Majors, okay, we don't care. Then the prosecutors played the video surveillance from the roadside that March night. Majors made a shrugging motion. Okay. After the lengthy discussion, the two defense lawyers, Majors, okay, back in court. Okay. I just want to see more of what the man said. Back in court on Monday, Dr. William Chang, an expert medical witness on the trial, and the attending physician at Bellevue Hospital, where Jabari was admitted for injuries to her finger and ear on the day after the alleged assault, told prosecutors that both of Jabari's injuries are consistent with the narrative she had shared. But on cross-examination, he said that the injury to her finger was inconsistent with having been caused by someone twisting her finger. Child. So he said it was consistent, but then he said it was inconsistent. Child. Hold on, let me see. All right, that's the end of the article, but I want to make sure that I said everything that I wanted to say. Okay, so let me come back to the chat. Let me hear what y'all have to say in the chat. Okay. Charlie's, oh wow, Charlie. I'm so sorry to hear that about your experience. Course correction said the Independent UK has the testimony of the two other witnesses. I'm glad. Okay, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. Yes. Okay. Now, Jonathan, there was nothing more guilty than. Okay, y'all talking about that. Right. The text messages do make it sound like there was some sort of altercation that happened back last summer. Now, I still want the details. I still want to know what happened. Because again, I still want to know what happened. And I'm not saying he ain't do nothing to that woman. I'm just saying I want to know what happened. But let's talk about the night in question. It sounds like the night in question, this woman was the aggressor. It sounds like the night in question, she assaulted him first. He tried to get away from her multiple times. She would not allow him to get away from her. And it sounds like anything that was done was started by her. So I'm not understanding why we're even having a trial, why they move forward, other than the fact that he's a Hollywood star, he's a black man, and she's a white woman. Because I'm not understanding why we're still having this conversation. I'm so confused about why we're still having this conversation. Why is this man having a damn 10-day trial for a misdemeanor? A misdemeanor? A misdemeanor. I am confusion. He put her in the car and tried to walk away. She got her ass out the car and chased him. She said he was running and she chased him. They plan to have a DV expert to come in tomorrow for a misdemeanor. Y'all, I'm sorry. I just think this, to me, this is excessive. I'm sorry, this sounds excessive to me. And again, I'm not saying that whatever happened that night in London, I ain't saying he ain't put his hands on her. Now, I don't know. I won't there. So I ain't gonna sit here and say he ain't put his hands on that woman because I wasn't there. I don't know. But what I do know is it doesn't sound like the March night of 2023, it does not sound like that man assaulted that woman. Now that's what it sounds like to me. That's just me. At the very least, it sounds like mutual comment. Now, what y'all think? I mean, I'm reading some of y'all comments. L. Smitty said he done pissed somebody off in Hollywood. That's the real story. Oops, stay focused, people. Okay, all right. Trial is to ruin his character. It's a hit job. They just want to hang this black man. I think they really are being overly aggressive. He was already on their radar. Sounds like his messes have been cleaned up before. Girl, I've seen this behavior before, and y'all can ride if y'all want to, but this is why people don't talk. I disagree. I don't think this is why people don't talk. I disagree with that. Because again, based on that story that night, I'm sorry. That's what it sounds like to me. I disagree. I disagree. That's my opinion. Thank you, Edwina. Thank you. Yeah. I don't think this is a case of this is why people don't talk. I don't. Now, I mean, again, I got about 10 minutes, Jane. If you want to come up, now, Jane, I only got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes. If you want to come up, but I don't agree with that statement. It sounds to me that the DA believes her at first and was too proud and embarrassed to drop it after realizing she had exaggerated. I agree. I do believe, Andre, that they believed it at first. But again, here's the problem. Then drop the shit. All of the third-party witnesses said they didn't see injuries. He'll be found not guilty because this was not the case to bring. London may have better facts for prosecution. Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that London, I'm saying that this man doesn't have a past, because I've read some of the things that allegedly, some of the things he said to people and all of that. I understand that. I understand that. But I'm talking about this particular situation that night. That's how I feel like. That's how I feel. Again, maybe whatever happened in London, maybe it was a situation. But that's like you can't convict somebody. I mean, I know it happens. I know the criminal justice system is not fair. But you can't convict somebody of a crime they didn't commit based on something they did before. Remember, he said in an article where he said he didn't indulge in Hollywood's buffoonery. Ever since that article, it's been downhill for them. No. She a Amber Heard 2.0. Yeah, I just feel like, again, if I'm on that jury now, again, those text messages, and if those text messages were from the night of that incident, I would put more weight into it. If I'm on a jury and those text messages were from that night, I would feel some kind of way. I'd be like, oh shit, what he talking about? But because those messages were from a different day, I mean, a different incident, it was her story and her own story, her version of the story. She says, I grabbed the phone out of his hand. I chased him down the street. I grabbed his shirt to stop him from leaving. It sounds like she was the aggressor the whole time to me. Now, again, like I said, I ain't saying that this man don't have some ish with him, because again, I've read some stuff where he got some ish with him. I ain't saying he don't, but I'm talking about this particular incident that night, based on her own words. Her own words. It just sounds. All right. I got less than 10 minutes. But if you want to come up, Jane, and say your piece, that's fine. But it does seem like, it does show that he's capable of doing those things. No, it doesn't. It's, well, to me, in my opinion, I'm not saying in your opinion, in my opinion, it doesn't, because again, we still don't know the context of those text messages. It does sound bad, y'all. It does. But we all know that you can take something out of context and it could be something totally different than what it was. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm saying I still want to know the context of the story. That's what I'm saying. And again, that don't mean he innocent. Ain't what I'm saying either. I'm saying I would like to know the context. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm bringing you up, Jane. Let me put my banner up. Let me put my banner up because you know we done had situations over here. So let me bring my banner up. Jane, is that you?
Yes, love. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you got.
Okay. I think two things. The first thing I think is I think she crashed out. I think she crashed out and she went off. But this is my belief. This is Citizen Jane's opinion. Don't put this on Really B. I think that he's one of them hot and cold dudes, and he was in a period of whatever was going on with him where he was ready to upgrade from her for whatever reason, or maybe he was just tired of her. But I think that whatever that shift in the relationship was, I do believe that he was doing things to trigger an emotionally volatile woman. So he knows that if he does certain things, she gonna jump out the window. And I think he had been doing a series of small certain things to get her to pop off. And I've been in that situation before where you just sitting there where this guy is completely enamored with you. I'm in love with you. I want to marry you. I got marriage and our children. Got it. But then within a very short period of time after that, it's like a completely different person. Non-communicative, always in his phone, doing things to make it obvious that he's cheating. And looking for an emotional response. A lot of this seems like she is emotionally unstable. She is codependent with him. And part of it is self-preservation. She got the bag. She thought she had scored this big Hollywood actor on the rise who completely adored her. And she's about to lose him. Okay? What a lot of these guys do is they put you in a position of making you think you're perfect and that you can't do no wrong. And at the same time, you do something that you're unaware of that disappoints them. And then they got to let you go. On that particular incident, I think that they were already in a cycle of abuse. And so for him to get physical with her wasn't uncommon for her. And she had already, in her opinion and by her testimony, had already put up with a lot of stuff. And so I've seen girls, literally a dude smacked her up and she running after him going, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Or like a dude will do something like I've seen a dude throw a drink on a chick or talk to another girl and she's in his face barking at him. And then he's like, well, I'm just gonna come home tonight. And then she starts crying and running after him after he blatantly disrespected her. The thing that disturbs me is that while this isn't legal, right? This isn't a legal offense. This isn't an assault because, as you pointed out, oh, well, she grabbed his phone. she tried, it's kidnapping. All of those things are probably true. But what I see more in this case is kind of like, how many times have y'all had the police called on you? How many times has somebody gotten you out of these messes? Because two things do not make sense to me. If he is that big of a star, why isn't somebody coming out to protect him? And it's not, I don't buy that it's just because, oh, he don't play the Hollywood game. Because that ain't true. Because he be kissing all on Michael B. Jordan and anybody else who he thinks he can get on with. That's not true. So that's not true. So I have two queries here. One, this is usually the type of incident that they send a fixer in to fix everything, and we don't hear about these incidents until something big happens. Because I'm sure if you talk to Cassie, she got a million of situations just like this, where she would look absolutely crazy for doing this. I've seen girls a million times get talked out of pressing charges over incidents like this because on some, do you want to see a black man go to jail? It's, y'all just fighting. This some makeup to break up, fighting makeup stuff, right? So my thing is, I don't know what everyone saw. I think I want to admit, I think she's unstable for a variety of reasons. I think she is right that she was in a heightened emotional state, but he picked her and she was with him for a long time through a lot of admitted abuse in the past. And this incident just happened to be one where they were caught out in public, because he strikes me as a abusive behind closed door type of dudes, right? And it's one of those things where legally, based on everything that I've seen laid out of this incident in isolation, I agree that maybe it should not have gone this far. But I think there's more to it that we can't see, because there have been some inconsistencies in his behavior. Like, I want to know where the heck she was for all that time that she was quote unquote missing, because he pressed charges on her for assaulting him. I am still of the opinion that one, he is abusive. He has all the earmarks of being an abuser. Two, that she is codependent. And
so wait a minute, hold on, wait, whoa. He has all the earmarks of being an abuser based on what?
Oh my God.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
No. His history is one of being very insecure about his looks, of being very insecure about coming from poverty.
Again, based on what?
Oh, there are countless stories of him that when he was growing up, he was the kid who was, he says, in interviews that came out, he even made comment on this, I believe, when Michael B. Jordan did that thing with the blonde girl at the award show where he told her that, didn't you know me in high school, and didn't y'all call me corny in high school? Right?
That was Michael B. Jordan that did that.
That was Michael B. Jordan, correct. But he came out with his own stories, and other people have told them before he went to Yale, where he didn't have nice clothes. He was very tall, and he was considered funny looking. Even though he's considered very handsome now, I can't remember if he was too skinny or he had a weight problem, but he hasn't always been buff. There are countless stories of when he was at Yale where other people would get involved because he would be emotionally and verbally abusive to his girlfriends at Yale. He's not a nice guy. He does not have a reputation as being a nice guy. And he specifically has countless numbers of stories about him being disrespectful to PAs who are females.
Okay. So let me,
You know,
okay, because I only have a few more minutes.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay, I hear what you're saying. And again, your feelings are your feelings. They're valid. Those are your feelings. But I'm talking about that specific night. So you're basically, and if I'm hearing you wrong, so you feel like, do you feel like based on what we've heard so far, do you feel like that night he was abusive towards the girl? Because again, I've heard things about him as well that aren't very nice. But I'm looking at this incident that night based on the information that they've testified in court. Not what was in newspaper articles, but what was in court. And based on what was testified to in court, do you feel like that night he was abusive?
I'm going to answer it this way. Do you consider gaslighting abusive?
No.
You don't? Okay. Then.
But even if I say yes, you feel like he was gaslighting her?
I feel like take for example, my first question is, if you in the car with your significant other, and you getting text from your slide, why you looking at the phone while you with your other when you know you getting text from your slide? Why?
But that's not gaslighting. That's not the definition of gaslighting.
What I'm saying is
that's a cheater that got caught cheating. People do it all the time.
Well,
that's a cheater that got caught cheating.
What I'm saying is that typically when I've seen that being done, especially with a cell phone, they'll go, it's nothing. And then she goes, well, if it's nothing, let me see. And
but Jane, we're going left. We're going down a whole different road. I'm talking about based on the evidence from that night that has been presented.
Right.
Do you feel like he was being abusive? And if the answer is yes, that's your opinion. The answer is yes. But I'm asking you, him getting caught cheating is not abuse. He was cheating. Does that make him a bad boyfriend? Sure. Does that make him a disrespectful guy that his side piece called him while he was in the car with his girlfriend? It happens all the time. How do people get caught cheating because of dumb shit like that? But does that mean that on that particular night it escalated to abuse? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, so the thing is that if you do something to provoke someone, it is up to you to be responsible for your own reactions to other people's behavior.
I disagree 120.
No. Let me finish. So it's her fault because she reacted to what he did. Her reaction is the problem. No. Do I believe he was being abusive in the way is legally defined as abuse? No. I don't. I believe that legally he is not abusive. No. But I think that if we could have watched the whole scenario of what went on, we would have a different opinion of it. But do I think legally he was abusive? No. Do I think he was engaging in a form of gaslighting? Like, oh, what? You're not seeing anything. Why are you being crazy? Like,
we don't know. Wait, you adding dialogue. We don't know that that's what happened. You were adding a whole conversation.
No, what I'm saying is when she's grabbing at the phone,
right?
She's grabbing at the phone. The the thing is, you still have to make a leap to say why she was grabbing at the phone. So you think she just flipped out and started grabbing at the phone for no reason?
No, she had a reason. The reason was she saw that her boyfriend was cheating on her. That was her reason for grabbing the phone. That doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean that
Right.
it is
That's what
okay
I
for her
was.
to grab
Okay.
the
So
phone.
we're saying the same things.
No, we're not. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not.
No,
We ain't
I
saying
don't
the same
think
thing.
that. I don't think that legally he was abusive. I think he was the catalyst to that situation. But do I think he was abusive? No. I think he was the catalyst to that situation, and I think that his behavior.
So
I think that his
because he got
behavior.
caught cheating, it justified her response. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you see someone doing something, like looking at their phone, and you suspect they are cheating, right? Her reaction was to grab the phone to see it. Now, where she went wrong was grabbing at the phone. I would have taken my behind home, but I'm not in the middle of that mess with them, so I can't assign her logic to that, right? I don't think that specific snapshot was abusive, but I do believe it is part of the cycle, and he was the catalyst to setting off that incident. I do not I don't even have a good reason why the police became involved, right? I don't even have a good reason for that. Didn't he call the police?
I think yeah, he was the one that called the police.
Right. And why did he say he called the police?
I don't even remember. I'm not being funny. I don't even remember.
Right. Because he said that he was concerned about her because of the way she was responding physically. So the point is, they already had an incident where he begged her not to go to the hospital. I think he did something to her. We don't know what it is that caused him to be concerned, because he's the one who called the police. She wasn't fighting him then. They're out of the car. They're not even there anymore. If I remember correctly, the police were called back at the house. The incident in the car was just the precipitating incident.
They never got to the house, Jane. He
Then
went to a hotel and she went to the club.
To the hotel. I'm sorry, I keep saying house. He went back to the hotel, right?
Andre. Okay, go ahead, because I gotta get ready to go. But go ahead.
Right. I think that who is that? Texas Toy. I agree with them. I don't think he was guilty that day. I think they have a toxic relationship, and I think he's a violent, abusive man.
Okay,
and I think
I'm gonna put a period right there. Because I don't disagree with that point. That particular night, and that's why I put Texas Toy's comment on the screen. Texas Toy said, I think he just wasn't guilty that day. I think they have a toxic relationship. That I can agree with 100%. But I mean, on that night, that day, I do not feel like, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. So okay. I think we kind of got to a common place there. All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to head over to Whether You Like It or Not panel to do our review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. The chat is going to automatically zap you guys over there. And I will see you guys there. Thank y'all for being here. We had a double header tonight. Jane, thank you for coming up, and I appreciate the conversation. We don't always have to agree. We can disagree respectfully, and that was a very respectful conversation, and I appreciate you coming up and your time. And I'm going to see you guys hopefully in a minute.
No problem. Do I just, if I tap out, will I be transferred with you?